Hello everyone and welcome back. So in this particular video we shall continue with the topic risk assessment and management of toxicological risks. So in the earlier parts of this particular topic we have covered the different processes which are involved in the risk assessment. Okay, so we have seen what exactly the risk is, what is a hazard, how it can be identified, characterized, okay, how the exposure is possible, as exposure assessment, how it can be done, and how the risk can be characterized. Okay, so in the introduction we had seen that the risk assessment is usually followed by the risk management. Okay, so risk assessment means you are assessing that particular hazard, okay, whether it is acceptable or whether any changes are required. So here certain evaluations are done, okay, certain observations are done, and based on the results of this risk assessment certain decisions need to be taken. Okay, so that particular process is known as risk management. Okay, so in this particular video we shall consider risk management, what are the processes involved in the risk management and how it can be implemented. Okay, so as we have already seen this particular definition of risk management, so this is a decision making process which is involving consideration of the political. So it does not only depend upon the assessment information, but also there is a consideration for the political, social, economic as well as technical factors. Okay, so these along with the relevant risk assessment information related to the hazard which is identified. The hazard means a possible potential to cause the adverse effects. Okay, so these are assessed so as to develop, analyze and compare certain regulatory and non-regulatory options as far as the use of that particular substance or that chemical is concerned. Okay, so any particular chemical which is supposed to be introduced or which is already introduced and it is assessed, reassessed, so how or what are the different regulatory responses which needs to be implemented, what are the decisions you need to take pertaining to the use of that particular chemical, or whether it has to be banned, or whether while continuing the use what are the different safety precautions or measures which you need to take to minimize or to remove the risks which are involved in the use of that particular substance. Okay, so this is exactly the risk management. Okay, so here we have seen that the risk assessment, that's the first implication of the process, right? So it's not only the risk assessment, okay, but it is the involvement of all these factors. Okay, so alone the risk assessment, the results of risk assessment, you cannot just make the decision whether you have to remove that chemical or whether you should continue with it. Okay, so you have to include all of these factors while taking a final decision. So based on the results which are obtained from the risk assessment, the risk manager should weigh the different criteria. So what is the benefit which is obtained from the use of that particular chemical or substance or a process, or what are the different risks which are involved. So all the criteria should be assessed and weighed and compared, and as per the requirement the remedial actions need to be implemented. Okay, now for final idea is to protect the human health and the environment. So this is the major concern why you are carrying out all these risk assessment. Okay, so ultimately to protect the human health and environment, you might have to take certain remedial actions, for which you need to assess all the factors which are involved, which we have seen under the risk assessment. Okay, so usually risk management, it starts with the risk evaluation. That's what we have seen. So that's the first concern. Okay, so that's the first concern. So risk evaluation is the first step, which is usually intermingled with the last step of risk assessment, that is the risk characterization. Okay, so a lot of comparative studies are done in this particular first step of risk management, that is risk evaluation. Okay, so sometimes certain decisions have to be taken. Say for example, while you are dealing with broadly acceptable risk or unacceptable risk, no further management action might be needed. Okay, except for certain situations wherein a ban might have been required. Okay, say supposing a particular chemical which might be in use earlier, okay, but later on it might have been found to be producing such deleterious effects that a ban has to be enforced on that particular use of that particular chemical. Okay, now coming to the processes which are involved in the risk management decision making. So what are those aspects which you need to consider while making a final decision? Okay, so what exactly you are supposed to look into while making certain decisions? So the first aspect is the benefit versus risk analysis. Okay, so in this particular analysis you need to weigh the benefits of the remediation. Okay, that is, whatever decision you are taking, whatever corrective steps you might have to take while implementing the use of that particular chemical. So what are the benefits of that remediation, or what are the risks which are involved in that particular decision? So you need to assess the risk as well as the benefits of implementation of these corrective measures, or implementation of the remedial actions which you might have to take with the use of that particular substance. Okay. Say for example, certain additional products might be released in the groundwater. So as a consequence of the remedial measure which you are taking for the use of that particular chemical, maybe some additional products might be released in the groundwater, or destruction of certain ecological habitat might be possible during remediation. So you have to weigh what are the benefits, what are the outcomes of that decision which you are taking. Okay, how much is the benefit and what are the risks? So you have to compare these and accordingly make the decision. Okay, it should not happen that whatever decision you are taking, it involves more risk rather than the benefits. Okay, then next factor which is involved in analyzing is the cost versus the benefit. Okay, so whatever decisions you are taking, okay, regarding the use of the chemical, how cost effective it is. Okay, so there should be more benefits which are obtained, okay, when you compare it with the cost. With the least cost you should obtain more and more benefits. Okay, so accordingly you should choose the remediation, okay, or alternative for the use of that particular chemical, so that less of the cost is involved in the implementation of the decision with more of benefits. Next aspect is the comparative analysis. Okay, so you need to make certain comparative studies while taking the remedial action. Okay, so for example, a comparison between risk of the removal and leaving the chemical in the environment. So you need to compare the outcomes. What will happen if the contaminant is removed, and what will happen when the contaminant or that particular chemical is continued to be used in the environment. So what are the outcomes? So you need to compare them. Okay. Even you need to also compare the risk which are involved to the human health or the environment. Okay, so there should be least amount of risk which is involved to the human health. Okay. So likewise, comparative analysis is supposed to be done, and if there are more of benefits out of the decision, then you are supposed to continue with the implementation of the remedial actions. And the next step which is involved is the community acceptance. Okay. Now, decision making process, the final remedy which you take, okay, final decision which you take as an alternative, so it should be acceptable to all the stakeholders. Okay. You alone or the regulatory bodies alone cannot take the decision. Okay. Or you just cannot keep the stakeholders unaware about the risk. Now, every chemical or every substance, when it is introduced in commerce, obviously there will be certain risk which will be involved. Okay, any particular chemical will not be totally free of any risk. Okay, so every stakeholder which is involved with the use of that particular chemical, directly or indirectly, should be made aware of what are the risks which are involved, and it should be acceptable to all the stakeholders. Okay. Now, say for example, let us consider for an anticipated exposure. That is, you know that the exposure will take place to that particular chemical or that particular substance. Or say for example, let us consider the accidental exposures. Maybe at the workplace, certain chemicals or certain substances might get exposed to the workers at that particular situation. So what are the different remedial measures which you can take, at least to avoid or to prevent or to minimize the risk which might be involved? So what you can do, what are the remedial, if the use of that particular chemical or substance is unavoidable, what are the measures which you can take? Okay, so following three are the remedial measures which you can take. That is substitution. Okay, either you can go for another substance which is less risky, okay, and another process or another chemical which is less risky, okay, or engineering control. Say for example, you can change the process to either prevent or reduce the exposure, okay, or minimize the emissions, or use the process containments, okay, so that the release of that particular substance in the environment can be minimized. Okay, if the process improvement is inappropriate, at least improve the workplace ventilation, okay, or secondary containment if possible, to minimize the or to prevent the ill health at the workplace or environmental pollution. So likewise, engineering control or design of that particular workplace can be altered to at least minimize the exposure. Then another measure which can be taken is personal protective equipments can be provided, such as respiratory protective equipments, okay, masks can be provided to the workers, clothing, gloves or footwear, so as to prevent the exposure to that particular substance. Okay, so these are the different remedial measures which can be taken. Now, though you take the decision, okay, so it's a decision making process about the use of a particular chemical or introduction about a particular chemical. Now, just making a decision is not enough. You need to also look out for the enforcement, implementation of the decisions which are taken by the regulatory bodies. Okay, so whatever decisions are made, okay, which these needs to be enforced through certain disciplinary committees of relevant professions which are related to the use of that particular chemical, or certain groups, or by certain statutory or insurance based inspection. Okay. certain rules and regulations needs to be passed as far as the use of that particular substance or a chemical or a process is concerned. Okay. So in these particular situations, maybe fines have to be implemented, followed by court appearances or increase in the insurance premiums. Okay, if at all any violations are done as far as implementation is concerned. Okay, or supposing when you have implemented certain decision, there may be failures, okay, while implementing these particular decisions which are taken, or certain new risks might emerge. Okay, so whatever failures or new risks are involved, these may be properly investigated. Okay, and wherever appropriate, retribution might be sought, that is appropriate punishment might also be given, okay, in the situation wherein such failures or new risks are introduced. Okay, so as far as possible, enforcement of the decisions which are taken, these are quite important by the statutory body. So certain rules and regulations need to be passed as far as the use of the chemical or introduction of the chemical is concerned. Okay. So this is to do with the process of risk management. This is the reference. Thank you for watching.